It's November 21st, 1718. You're drinking below deck with your crew. The Royal Navy is anchored in the dark, just out of sight. You're standing on the deck of the Adventure, anchored in Ocracoke Inlet off the coast of North Carolina. It's November 21st, 1718. The sun set an hour ago. Around you, the water is black and still. Your crew, what's left of it, is drinking below deck. There are maybe 20 men with you tonight. A year ago, you commanded 4 ships and 300 pirates. Tonight, you have 1 sloop and a skeleton crew. The rum is flowing. Someone's playing a fiddle. You don't know it yet, but these are the last hours of your life. Your name is Edward Teach, though no one calls you that anymore. To the world, you are Blackbeard, the most feared pirate in the Atlantic. You've blockaded entire cities. You've captured over 40 ships. You've terrorized the American coastline from Virginia to the Caribbean. And you've done it all through an image so terrifying that most captains surrender the moment they see your flag. But tonight, in the quiet dark of Ocracoke, the Royal Navy is coming for you. And this time, there's no escaping. Let's go back one more time. Nobody knows exactly where you came from. You were probably born around 1680. Likely in Bristol, England, a port city crawling with sailors, smugglers, and men looking for a way out. Some records suggest your real surname is Thatch. Others say Drummond. You choose Teach. It doesn't matter. The name that history remembers hasn't been invented yet. You go to sea young, probably as a merchant sailor or privateer, during Queen Anne's War. Privateering is legal piracy. You raid enemy ships with a government license. When the war ends in 1713, thousands of sailors are suddenly unemployed. The seas are full of trained fighters with no income, no allegiance, and ships that can outrun anything the Navy has. The Golden Age of Piracy begins, and you're perfectly positioned for it. You sail to the Caribbean and join the crew of Benjamin Hornigold, one of the most successful pirates operating out of Nassau in the Bahamas. Hornigold sees your talent. You're big, commanding, fearless, and gives you your own captured sloop to captain. By 1717, you've split from Hornigold and begun building your own legend. You capture a French merchant ship called La Concorde, a massive vessel with 40 guns. You rename her Queen Anne's Revenge. You mount additional cannons until she carries over 40 guns total. She's the most heavily armed pirate ship in the Atlantic. And then you create the character. You grow your beard long, impossibly long, and braided into thick ropes. Before battle, you weave slow-burning fuses into your beard and under your hat, so that wisps of smoke curl around your face like you've risen from hell. You strap 6 pistols across your chest. You carry a cutlass. You are enormous, wreathed in smoke, bristling with weapons, and screaming as you board. Most ships surrender without a fight. That's the point. Your reputation is your weapon. Merchants hear your name and throw their cargo overboard before you even arrive. You rarely have to kill anyone. The terror does the work for you. By early 1718, you command a small fleet, the Queen Anne's Revenge, 3 smaller sloops, and over 300 men. You are the most powerful pirate in the Western Hemisphere. In May 1718, You blockade the port of Charleston, South Carolina, one of the busiest harbors in the American colonies. For nearly a week, no ship enters or leaves. You capture 9 vessels. You take hostages, including prominent citizens. Your demand is simple: a chest of medicine. Some historians believe it was mercury-based treatments for syphilis. The governor, terrified, complies. You release the hostages and sail away. You've just held an entire colonial city hostage. It's the boldest pirate operation in American history. But there's a problem. Your fleet is too big. Too many mouths to feed. Too many men to control. So you do something ruthless. You deliberately run the Queen Anne's Revenge aground in Beaufort Inlet. Then you strand over 200 of your own men on a sandbar with no food or water. You sail away with a small, loyal crew and the lion's share of the treasure. The stranded men are eventually rescued, but your betrayal is calculated. You've downsized your operation to something manageable. You move to Bath, North Carolina, where Governor Charles Eden grants you a royal pardon. Dozens of pirates are accepting pardons. It's the Crown's last attempt to end the pirate age without all-out war. You settle in Bath publicly, but privately, you never stop pirating. You use Ocracoke Inlet as your base, raiding ships in the coastal waters and fencing the goods through corrupt local officials. But the governor of Virginia, Alexander Spotswood, is watching. He knows you haven't reformed. And unlike Governor Eden, Spotswood has no interest in letting the most notorious pirate alive operate freely on his doorstep. Spotswood hires Lieutenant Robert Maynard of the Royal Navy. 2 armed sloops, the Jane and the Ranger, are dispatched from Virginia with a single mission: find Blackbeard and kill him. Maynard's ships carry no cannons. They'll fight hand-to-hand if necessary. On the night of November 21st, 1718, Maynard's ships arrive at the mouth of Ocracoke Inlet. They wait in the dark, anchored just out of sight. You don't know they're there. You and your crew are drinking, celebrating. You have no lookouts posted. For the first time in your career, you've let your guard down. Dawn, November 22nd, 1718. The light comes gray and cold over the water. Your crew spots 2 sloops approaching through the narrow channel. You weigh anchor and try to maneuver, but the inlet is shallow and tricky. One of Maynard's ships runs aground immediately. The other, the Jane, takes your broadside. Grape shot and chain, fired at close range. Several of Maynard's men are killed instantly. But Maynard is clever. He orders his surviving crew below deck, out of sight. When your sloop pulls alongside and you lead the boarding party, pistols blazing, cutlass swinging, fuses smoking in your beard, you think the ship is empty, a skeleton crew. Then Maynard's men pour out of the hold, dozens of them. It's a trap. The fight is savage. Close quarters, blades and pistols. You and Maynard face each other directly. You fire your pistol. It hits one of his men. Maynard fires his. It hits you. You keep fighting. You swing your cutlass with such force that you snap Maynard's sword blade at the hilt. As Maynard steps back, one of his men slashes you across the neck from behind. You keep fighting. By the time you fall, you've been shot 5 times and slashed over 20. The most feared pirate alive dies standing, surrounded by enemies, drenched in blood and smoke. They cut off your head and hang it from the bowsprit of Maynard's sloop. They throw your body into the water. Legend says it swam 3 laps around the ship before sinking. Your head is displayed on a pike at the entrance to the Hampton River in Virginia, a warning to every pirate on the Atlantic coast. The Golden Age of Piracy is ending, and your death is its exclamation point. You leave behind no treasure, at least none anyone has ever found. You once told someone, only 2 people know where the treasure is buried, and one of them is dead. Treasure hunters have been searching for 3 centuries. They've found nothing, but your legacy is something more valuable than gold. You created the template for what a pirate looks like, sounds like, acts like. Every skull and crossbones flag, every bearded villain in a tricorn hat, every Hollywood pirate swinging from the rigging, that's you. You are the reason pirates exist in the popular imagination. You're Blackbeard, Edward Teach. You terrorized the Atlantic with smoke and fury. You blockaded Charleston. You betrayed your own crew. And on a cold November morning in North Carolina, you died the way you lived, violently, theatrically, and standing up. That's the truth about criminal empires. Even the ones built on the open ocean, with the wind at your back and no law for 1,000 miles, they all end the same way, in blood, on someone else's terms. And the sea forgets your name before the tide goes out. If you survive this story, subscribe, because next time you won't be this lucky.